All right, I think we're going to get it started. We have limited time. Good morning, everybody. This session is for Kiro IDE, idea to production with vibe coding, specs, and agentic AI. Before I start the session, two questions I have for you. Like, have you used Kiro? How many of you have used Kiro? Just show the hand. Cool. All right. How many of you have your personal project portfolio website to showcase your work that you do? Cool. All right, not that many. So today's session, we're going to talk about the Kiro core features, and also time permitting, we will get into a live demo to create your own personal project portfolio site in about 10 minutes. So this is about me, Girish Bhatia. I'm AWS Community Builder in the AI engineering focus area. As you can see, I've been around 20 plus years, been through many technology changes. Of course, I love to work in the AWS services, especially in the AI, which keep evolving. So today we're going to talk about Kiro. And one thing I will say, you can also find me in many tech blogs. I love to write. I love to document what I learn. So you will find me on YouTube. You will find me on AWS Community Builder Center. You will also find me on many other tech blogging platforms. So Kiro, if you are not familiar, it's the AI-powered IDE. So I'm sure that if you are in software engineering, you have used other IDE, VS Code, Eclipse, others. Kiro IDE came into life in 2025, and I had the opportunity to use it ever since. And one thing that differentiates Kiro from other AI-assisted tool is its ability to generate these specs. And that's where, if you have heard about Kiro, you probably have started to also hear about specs-driven development. Before that, AI, you were hearing more in the context of vibe coding. And with Kiro, when you start the session, you are getting the option of both the vibe coding and specs. And as a software engineer, as a product manager, as a business person, because AI is now making the writing the application for everybody, you pick that which mode you want to select. You can download Kiro, and once from kiro.dev, you will see multiple setup options for the sign up, and you can sign in through the Google, you can sign in through the GitHub, you can also sign in through your AWS Builder, and then the very interesting one is the last one where you sign in with organization identity, which is an evolving area. I'm going to go through some quick features here in the interest of time. So these are the core features that I have picked up. AI, and Kiro is an AI assisted tool. So just like any other AI technology, new features are getting added almost every 2 weeks. So by the time you see that and go back and look at Kiro, there are probably 4 other features you will see. But in the core of it, basically, you have vibe mode and you have spec-driven mode. In the vibe code, you are actually getting a quick code generated for you. So you have your app up and running. You may be doing a prototype. You may be wanted to see a UI wireframe kind of scenario. So you will get it quickly through vibe coding. Specs, when you want to follow the traditional SDLC, so you want your requirements to be in place that you can show to your business, the product, and say, hey, here is the requirement. And based on that requirement, then you want design specs. So then it will generate the design specs. Then you will have your implementation plan. So you get those 3 markdown files for requirements, for design, and then for your task. Then once you approve it, Kiro will start executing on those tasks to build the application that you have the requirement for. And this is the view. This is how it will look. requirement, design, task plan, and then you have your application. So you are in controls as the code is getting generated. Now, you have steering files, MCP server, checkpoints, and enterprise readiness. Hooks basically are the event that help you automate certain tasks. A very simple example that I like to quote is that you are writing your code and then you have a hook configured to update the documentation for that code. So that's a task that you don't have to worry about it because you made the changes to the code. Hook got automated, got activated, and it updated your README file. So your document, like you updated a function, like a customer lookup function, and you added 2 more parameters. Agent will do it for you, and your documentation will always be updated. Steering files is another very useful and the core features. You can define the product, structure, and tech stack for the app that you are trying to build. You can embed your coding standard into it, and that's a shareable artifact. So your entire team can use it, and Kiro, when generating the code, will follow those guidelines to generate the code. Checkpoint, it was not there originally. It was a function that was added later, and it's basically like a rollback. So at any point, you can say, hey, I want to go back to this checkpoint, and Kiro will roll back your code to that point, and you can start over if you didn't like any output. Enterprise readiness is one of my favorite features because that basically allows you to integrate the Kiro login through the Identity Center or an identity provider like Okta. So that is something that in any company, AI governance is a hot topic. And it's not only the integrated sign-on, but it also basically providing you the governance feature once you integrate it with Okta or Identity Center. So I just want to quote a few examples here. So CRUD API, this is an architecture diagram of a CRUD API, which is a UI hosted on a EC2. You have API gateway. You have your core business logic in Lambda. And you have DynamoDB that's storing the customer information. And this is something like a serverless stack that you can create like in really minutes by giving a prompt. This is the prompt I used to create this REST API, and all 4 or 5 endpoints for the CRUD API was generated by Kiro, and also generated a infrastructure as code template using the SAM so that I can deploy it in my AWS account. This is an example of the code that it has generated. And this is another example, a serverless rating app. So this basically using an HTML UI and Lambda and DynamoDB, no REST API here, and IAC deployment through SAM template. Again, I have put the prompt here and basically generated it in minutes to kind of create a very simple rating app that is production ready, is deployed, it's live. There is the QR code, you scan it, you will get it, and very simple app that it generated in minutes. This is where I want to look at quickly a Kiro in action. So showing that how quickly it can generate code for you. And I have the prompt on the screen. I'm just saying, hey, I'm a software engineer. Want to create a website for me. I just provided some data about it. Prompt can be as much data you provide here. But this is my example. And then if I go to Kiro, and I'm going to use vibe coding because we don't have time to create these packs. But if I go here, and this is my Kiro environment, and here once I'm already logged in. I'm using Okta here to log into my account, and I am signed up to a pro subscription that gives me 1,000 tokens. So I'm going to select vibe coding, and I have that same prompt that I have in the screen. And if I do it, it will start working on my request, as you will see. So this cool Kiro icon rolling eyes here and working on my prompt to generate the code. I'll give it a minute because I have the time check here. So we'll see how long it takes. But this basically will generate the CSS and the HTML. While it's generating it, I want to just show you an output that what it will look like once it's generated. It will not look like exactly the same because when you are generating code, two scenario might be very different. But I just wanted to call out, like this is an example where like you will see that it generated a file, and then it's actually perfectly created the links, which are like fully working links that you click and you have a working site. So it's really very interesting. And look like it created it, this one also. So let me go back quickly and see if we have, we have our file here. And as you can see that while we were talking and I just switched the folder and you have the HTML code and a website, which again, you can do subsequent prompting and continue to enhance it. But this is an example that I wanted to share here. This is a topic which requires its own session, but I wanted to call out that these are like great example of IAM Identity Center integration and the Okta. And you can like, Okta is a pretty popular identity provider. Most company uses it. So through the OpenID Connect standard, you can connect the sign up process. And when you do that, not only you getting the enterprise level signing process, but for the AI administrator and the governance, it's also giving you an ability to control the model that you can allow to be used with Kiro, and also like what MCP server that you want to allow in your organization. So those two things, among many others that you will see, you can have prompt logging, you can have user activity, you can control the over usage. So all these options becomes available through the admin setting in your AWS console when you are using the enterprise integration. So this is something that I wanted to call out. And again, this is my information. Here is the QR code. So I'll appreciate if you can scan the code. It's only 2 simple questions. Your feedback will help us, improve the session for the next time.